Welcome back, friends. Let's go ahead and break down my semifinals match from the ADCC Open in San Diego this past weekend. I start by making my grips and pulling guard, and I'm looking to enter right into half guard. Initially, I'm thinking about going for the false reap, but as she drops her knee down, I start thinking about working my classic half guard sweep. I shoot my underhook deep, I start to get on my two knees, and I'm able to sweep her all the way over into half guard. From top, I'm looking to insert my crossface, drop some pressure on her, and work to get my underhook on the other side. She starts looking to hold her two hands together, possibly thinking about bridging me over, so I keep my hips heavy, and then I drop my head down low so there's not a lot of space for her to start working to recover her guard. I'm taking my time here, making sure I secure my position and not giving her too much space to work with. It's hard to see, but I try to threaten a little bit of an Ezekiel, trying to force her to give up the underhook. She has really long arms, and she's really insistent on keeping this underhook, so it takes me a little bit of time to continue to keep digging under and find my underhook. To add a little bit of pressure, I start dropping my head to the mat, but my hips are really high here, so if she bridged, I could have been in trouble, but thankfully I was able to maintain my position. I started to push my knee free, and I look to enter into the quarter guard. She's keeping that elbow tucked, really making sure I don't get that underhook, so I start to switch tactics a little bit. From my quarter guard, I'm waiting for the right opportunity to start locking up a gift wrap, so I start forcing her to her side, I start pinning her arm to the mat, and I look to lock up my Kimura grip. Continuing to keep pressure on her head, I start to feel her unlock her legs a little bit, so I help her out, I end up sliding all the way into the mount, and now I'm trying to keep some pressure here. She starts to bridge me off here, so I allow her to turn and give up her back. From here, my goal is to split the chicken, but I'm a little bit high on her to sprawl, and in the transition here, she's able to bring her back to the mat, so I lock up my gift wrap, and I go for my classic gift wrap back take. I'm immediately looking to attack the neck so that I can insert my hooks, and I start looking for my body triangle, but at the same time, she brings me to the side. I'm looking to lock my body triangle, and she starts sitting on my leg, which makes me unable to lock it up. I start looking to attack the neck and open her up a little bit so that I can secure my back position. And one thing I think is really fun about the ADCC rule set is you're allowed to go for a muffler. So I'm trying to cover her face, make sure it's difficult for her to breathe, and use that to start working things when she panics. As she goes to bridge, I lift my leg out from under her and I look to lock up a body triangle. I don't know if you can really tell here, but her arms are really long, so I was having a very difficult time trying to get under the neck because she kept controlling my arms and extending them out. I haven't really seen somebody defend like this, so it was pretty interesting for me to try and figure out what to do. She starts bridging her hips and walking backwards to defend, and to maintain some control, I lock up my feet. She takes that as an opportunity to go for this quick little foot lock, but I find, at least for myself, it's pretty difficult to finish this foot lock from the back. So as she goes to bridge into me, I'm not really feeling much, and I continue to attack the neck. I find that with people that are good at tucking their chin and making it really difficult for you to get under the neck, you have to get a little mean. So I start putting my forearm under her nose, looking to lift up her head, and really trying to do anything I can to get under the neck here. She's still doing a really good job of defending, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to get a little gassed here. She continues to bring me from side to side, looking for any opportunity she can to escape, so I'm having to switch my body triangle pretty frequently, and I'm trying to keep my foot on her hips to stop her from extending backwards. I keep my foot on her hips, trying to push her back down so that I can secure my back control a little bit better, and she almost slides out here, so I put my right foot on her hip and I look to open her back up. In the meantime, I start sliding my hand under the neck and I nearly lock up a rear naked choke. She starts controlling my hand, so I look to use my free arm to start opening up that hand, and I try and get back under the neck. She begins to slide out a little bit, so I lock up that body triangle and I begin looking to choke over the face. She brings her shoulder high, blocking the choke from coming in, and I look to lift up her chin. I put in the muffler one more time, just trying to make her a little bit more uncomfortable so that I can force her to open up and go for something. She brings my body triangle to the wrong side, and this is starting to put a little bit of pressure on my knee, so I open up and she begins to kind of slide out of my back control. I do my best to put my hook back in, and then I opt to try and keep her here in the mount. From here, I'm trying to figure out which way she's going to turn into me. If she turns to face me, I can keep her in the mount. If she starts turning away from me, I can go to take her back again. Honestly, I should be doing a better job of forcing her into the position that I want to be in, but instead I allow her to get too much space. And as I begin looking for a little katagatame from the mount, she starts to bridge, and I stay too fixed in on that katagatame, so I start to fall off, and I try and go for a little head and arm on the side. And as she slides out of that, I try and finish it from close guard, but she slips out. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty tired here. So my goal here from close guard is to not let her open up, and to do my best to start attacking the arms. But like I said earlier, she has really long arms, so trying to force a shoulder crunch or something of that variation is very difficult. She starts to pin my hands to the mat, and she looks to stand up. I'm trying to keep her down and break her posture, so I bring my knees to my chest, and I use that to bring her forward. I start looking to control the head to prevent her from posturing up, and since she places her hands on the mat, I look to start attacking a shoulder crunch. But she's pinning my hand to the mat, making it really difficult for me to try and get under that arm, and she uses that to posture up. In hindsight, as she's pinning my arms, I should have started walking my legs up and looking for a classic armbar, especially when she starts to stand up right here. Instead of going for an armbar, she starts to stand up and I look for a waiter sweep. So I underhook her leg and I look to bump my hips. And reviewing the footage here, I look like I'm in a very vulnerable position. I didn't even realize that I was headstanding for a second. But nevertheless, I'm able to bring her back to the ground. I once again break her posture and start looking to enter into a shoulder crunch. Really, at this point, it's about holding on for dear life because I'm tired. Maybe this is a sign I should be working on my cardio. She leaves her right arm exposed, so I start looking to go for a little mir-lock, but I'm having a tough time locking my hands together palm to palm. I start to scoot out, create an angle, and then I look to lock my hands up. I lock my hands up, and she starts defending. I feel like it was tight for a second, but I'm unable to get the mir-lock. I end up letting it go, and she stands up one more time. As she stands up, I try and bring her down, but I'm having a tough time, so I underhook that leg again, and then I look to enter into my key guard when the round ends. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please stay tuned for my finals match, which is going to be coming out on Friday. And if you guys are enjoying this content, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. As per usual, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!